On a clean work surface for doing fuel stuff, you know, like that. But secretly I really just enjoy it, like making my own cars. Even though I'm not very good at it sometimes. Some stuff I think I do okay, other stuff it's just like I don't know what I'm doing. But this is the first time for everything, you've got to learn somewhere. Drilled, tapping, try not to snapping. You might be asking yourself, why are you screwing it up from the underside this time, Dave? Push on it. As always, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It's not that hard. Just do it. It's free. And you'll get to see all this and this. And hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on YouTube. Dave here. Not in the garage, I'm at work again, doing a little intro for this particular video, which was supposed to be the second half of the last video, but it got way too long, so I cut it in half and made it into 2 videos, but I needed to do a new intro, so that's what I'm doing right now, is the new intro for the second video that I filmed about 2 weeks ago, and it's on the Area 51 project on the brake lines. No, brake lines on the brake, it's on the fuel lines. We're doing fuel lines and the fuel system, mapping it out, planning it out, pegging it out, and putting it into the project. Making it, well, hopefully it'll work. I'm not going to test it for a while. So, yeah, get at it. Fuel lines. So I bought a kit for that. Didn't really look too hard when I bought the kit, but it should be alright, hopefully. Okay, so this is my fuel system. As you can see, I've been rummaging around in it. Ages ago when I was buying some other stuff in Summit, I bought the kind of old Corvette style return regulator thingy bob. But this kit actually comes with one, but it's just a bit more of a, I don't know, it's a little tiny little bit different. It's in this box, so I can't get it out one-handed, and it comes with a, that's I bought from the swap meet the other week. I just chucked it in there. Comes with all these AN fittings, and they're all this push lock system. I know you can see I've been fiddling around with it, and I've pushed one in there, and then that's it, it's on there now. So hopefully that's all good. I'd never heard of push lock AN fittings until I actually opened this kit up and seen that. I thought it was all like normal AN style ones with the kind of clampy nut things and that on there, but I just didn't even really read the ad properly. It was all on the old Amazon website. I bought that, and it was kind of quite cheap, and yeah, so hopefully it's all good. If anyone knows anything about these push locks, that I have done a bit of research and they seem to be all good, but if anyone's got any first world experience with them, just get down in the comments and let us know what you think. Otherwise I'll be kind of cutting them all off and, well, doing a whole new system, because you have to have special kind of hose for it too. Yeah, so I've got to work out a plan to run it up the back there, and I've pulled the tank out of the box and it's just sitting under the old Area 51. I'm just trying to work out my routing and stuff like that, but I've got a bit of a plan, so yeah, let's get at that too. And I bought some P-clips and that and stuff to clip it all up, hopefully, because I want to get all this done before the body goes on, and I can get drills and that into drill for clips and crap like that. Yeah, so I'm going to start messing with this. On a clean work surface for doing fuel stuff, you know, like that. Okay, so with this kit, got a heap of these, like a bunch of different these push lock fittings, some straight ones. Is this a straight one? Yeah. And these, which are like for fuel things. A couple of 45s, which might be good on top of the tank. A couple of conversion fittings for the sender and return on top of the tank. Another one of them ones. One of those. And one of those. One of those. So, what do I want? I want one of these to go from the fuel rail. This goes onto the fuel rail, that little split screw unscrews, I think. And then I can get fitting on the fuel line and go from there. So I start off and I chuck one of these on the fuel rail. Clean rag. Give that a bit of a look-dee clean. That goes on there like that, I think. And then that pushes on there. And then that is going to tighten up onto there. I haven't got any special, the special spanners and that for doing old payin fittings, so I'm going to have to just kind of do it the dodgy way. Okay, you can see what's going on. Okay, might need two, of course. How tight do these have to be? Where's that other spanner? Here. I'll just gently put this on here, just to hold it. And I'll gently pinch that up tight. I think that's it. If anyone knows any different, let us know. It still wants to turn, but of course there's nothing to stop it turning, but that's about as tight as it'll go. I've got this tangled mess of fuel hose that came with this kit, so we're just going to start laying it down in the path that I want to go in. So that'll go on there like so. And then I want to run that down the back of the block. I'll put some P-clips and stuff in to hold it. I would have liked it to go 90 out that way, but I could get another fitting, but then that, more fittings just kind of brings it out further, so it's kind of not a whole lot different from what that would be. So I want to kind of like just clamp that across the back of the blocks. Let's have a look. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so I'll pin that up in those extra holes on the back of the block. I want to tuck it under here. I have to find the end of it. Probably should have done this slightly different, but she'll be right, as they say in Australia. Oh. Sorry. Okay, I had the camera pointing in the wrong direction just for a change. So that's roughly where I'm going to lay out this fuel line, and I'll probably tag a P-clamp up the top here and bring it down or over, well away from the old exhaust manifold there, and these two braces, or that front body mount that comes down onto these two mounts here. I'll probably put another little P-clamp or something like that to kind of hold it away from the exhaust. And I'll probably have my first clamp here, and then we're going to tuck down on the inside of the rail. That was my plan anyway. In this case, coming back this way, I really need to figure out what I'm going to do here. Can I go across the top like that? I probably can. It's not going to get crushed by the body. Or do I go through, one of them? But then if I go through one of these, I'll need to have a grommet. Sorry, if I go through one of these holes in that cross member, I'll need a grommet, or I
could potentially just go on top, and then I doubt that's going to get pinched by the body, because it's still going to be, the body's going to be sort of higher off. It doesn't sit flat on here, so it could be good to just go through that way, which would be ideal. And we're just going to go through like that, and then I'll just bring it around on these, and I'll P-clamp off of there, keep it off the middle, and go through that way. And probably have to go under that one, and then up onto the C-notch. Yeah, this should be fairly straightforward, I hope. I might actually start clamping it as it sits now, so I've got any 10mm bolts? I don't know, I have to find out. And that way I can kind of get it tight to the length I need going up that way. Unfortunately, having to work up under here is a pain, as I've been whinging about all morning. So I'm just going to see if I can find any. What do I need? Maybe two. Want one up in there, can probably snag into that, and probably want one over that side. Yeah, I'll just go and find some hardware. Picked up a couple of these kits, P-clamp kits off I think they were Amazon. Pretty good pricing. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I mean, here in New Zealand we pay like $40 for 4 of these bloody things, so I think I paid about $40 for 20. So yeah, downside is I can't get 10mm bolt in there, so I can't tap into these existing holes, so I have to find some other way. Done one up the top there, whoop, just off the steam port bolt. So, and I'm thinking eyeballing this thing here, I'm wondering if I can pull that out. I don't know what it is, it's some sort of cable tie thing on this engine lifting bracketry. So I'm going to see if I can kind of tag one in off of that and still come down here. It still should be well clear of the headers, and I should still be able to tap into that other body mount. So I'm just going to get that off. Bugger. So that hole is already slightly too big, so to tap my 6mm fasteners and stuff into. So I'd either have to drill it out and tap some bigger thing and find an 8mm bolt or something like that, which then I won't fit through this. I'm going to drill that out and put a riv cert in it, and then I can just riv cert to that. Installed, or riv nut, riv cert. Tomatoes. Where's the Allen key gone? I brought all my tools over here so I wouldn't have to get up and get down and get around and stuff, and now I can't find. Oh, of course it's furthest away. Got all of them. Yeah. Oh, what am I doing, man? That rib cert was, well, that steel I should say, was probably a little bit on the heavy side for a rib cert, but again, it's not going to have much in the way of a loading and stuff. It's just got to hold this fuel line up against here. Oh, over here. I'm going to put one in over here, so I still want to kind of come across and down. And then, yeah, it feels awful close to that exhaust manifold, but there's no real other way of doing it. Either way, you're going to get close to things. There is going to be a heat shield on there, so if I did need to, I could build another shield for that fuel line, or it just has to come across higher. That's probably not a bad idea if I do it. It look real goofy at the moment. But if I leave plenty of excess for it to come and land on here, and then it's going to dip down into the old inside chassis rail. So if I do a fastening about there, yeah, I know, I'll do it about there. I need a pencil. I'll do one about there, I reckon. And that way we can put a bit of baggy on that. I'll do it about here. That way we can kind of, it can come up and it can tag into that body mount thing like that up there, and that's heaps of kind of space around there, eh? You reckon? Anyhoo, I'll just drill a hole. Oh, other way. Just like that. Probably should have drilled a pilot hole, but you know, I didn't want to because I had to just change drill bits and stuff. Alright, let's feed some more of that through before I clamp that up, because I want to be able to come through about there. And then push that down like so. Okay, so as with brake lines and stuff, fuel lines, air lines, brake lines, they all got to be pinned up about every 300 millimeters. There is some of them I think maybe can be 400, but might as well just do them at 300, so which is about a foot. So we've got to do another one there. Another one there. Oh, there's a hole. We could almost use that. Oh, there's a hole there. It's just a bit high. They're from the old brake line clips. There's another one there, and there's a couple of others scattered down the frame rails as well. But if I could use one, I'm not going to be able to use the other one because it's, yeah, they're like 4 centimeters apart or something, so they must be about 16 inches or 14 inches or something like that. And I kind of want to drill my holes about the same height as I did on the other side, so I can have one underhanging and one overhanging. So in this case I'll probably have the fuel line kind of a little higher. As for why, I'm not really sure. But because I'm going to bring it up high over here, so I may even still bring the air lines up high over here as well yet, but we shall see. But for a start, can I get the drill in there? I don't know. I'll just keep marking out where my 300s are, and then I'll measure up where the other ones are and mark them too. Okay, so we've got, oh, that's got a little bit of a whoop-de-doo on there. That's our first half of our fuel lines. Got brake lines on the brain. And kind of P-clamped in place, so that should be all good. Like the P-clamps kind of feel like they're quite tight on there, but this is a high pressure line, so I don't know, it should be alright. But it's quite, I don't know, quite a soft line. But yeah, so these ones, I'm going to put a couple of clamps on this, around this 4-link bracket, so I'm going to have to drill and tap those. I don't know, something like, oh, so we'll have, get my fucking knee out of the way, sort of something like that, you know, like, but 2 of them, but and proper and straight, sort of like that ish. But yeah, there's a bit of a twisty turn got to go on. I suppose I could do them a little bit lower, like that, and about there, and then that can hook around and get back into the center of the chassis rail as it comes out on the other side. Yeah, so maybe I'll do that, do them a little bit lower. Where's my pencil? Sort of round about there. Not there. Not there. About there. And yeah, so I'll drill and tap those and carry on. This is awkward as. I've now got my shorts all hooked up on this thing and living the dream. You can hear the rain started again. Yep, but wouldn't have it any other way. You can't be a martyr if you're not martyring yourself over something. But secretly, I really just enjoy it, like making my own cars. Even though I'm not very good at it sometimes. Some stuff I think I do okay, other stuff it's just like I don't know what I'm doing. But this is the first time for everything. You've got to learn somewhere. So if this is your first time watching this channel, you've got some stuff to learn that you won't learn on this channel. So I need a punch. I wonder if I can push the body forward now that I've finished up the front. Chassis back, body forward. Maybe see if I can get a bit more space out over there, over this back part. Alrighty. Drilled, tapping, try not to snapping. Seems pretty good so far. Let's back it off. Oop, I'm going to scratch the paint. In reality, if I had a huge workshop with benches and racking and shelves and chassis table and all that sort of stuff, essentially I would have built this whole car finished, well, complete, possibly even driving before I painted anything. But I don't want to do that. Well, I'd love to do that actually. I actually would like to do a complete build in kind of raw steel and then blow it all apart and then paint and powder coat everything when you know everything works and fits and you're not drilling into any new paint or stuff like that. Like you do all of this, you just kind of build the whole car and then you just take it all apart, bag it all up, paint everything and then reassemble like a big kit car that you'd made yourself, only one of. Come on. Yeah, right, okay. Alrighty, let's get, what do I do? I've got some, oh, there they are. And another one of these. I'm going to put these ones on kind of upside down on this particular one. Yeah, come on, get in there. You might be asking yourself, why are you screwing it up from the underside this time, Dave? And that's because in the future there's going to be a floor here, and it'll be easier if I ever had to undo this, to undo it from the underside, even though it's more difficult for me right now. Oh, that's my reason. Alright, so I'll get these bolted up and carry on. Okie dokie, look at that. Right, so we've got fuel lines pinned all the way up and up over the step notch here, finishing just here. Trying to decide whether to put another P-clip in there, because I've just done down low here, because this fuel line is going to come across over to this thing, and which is going to be around, I don't know, I'm trying to decide whether to put it here or more central over there. And as of yet, I'm kind of undecided, because we've still got all the usual factors to factor in with exhaust. There's going to be a U comes over here, dumps down, it's going to go down underneath, sort of somewhere, maybe coming out the side. I don't know where it's going to come out yet. That's a fight for another day. So my next kind of mission with this fuel system is just where I'm going to put this. I was just going to put it on this chassis rail and have it sort of, you know, do its thing, loop back and rah-de-rah-de-rah. Then I realised the body actually comes down to about here on this chassis rail, so I can't do that. And I don't want to put anything underneath because, you know, for obvious reasons, low can get knocked around, stuff like that. So the regulator and such will probably end up getting mounted up under the floor, up under the back, way back there, because the car's all turned around, push me, pull you sort of stuff at the moment. And I'm just trying to decide on where the kind of placement's going to be, like central or off to one side, and then have the return and feed line from the tank kind of, you know, so long sort of thing. So that's kind of where I'm stalled out at the moment. I did take some notes last week when I was pondering all of this, and I probably should consult them because I may have made a decision in those notes. Maybe. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is my little notes from last week, and this is my kind of fuel tank, and I think I decided to put the regulator kind of off to one side of the tank, but I possibly wasn't really factoring in the exhaustage. We should be alright, because, hang on, I've got to try and get around this. The old Area 51 at the moment is everything's thing, the old cyclone Ebola or whatever the fuck it's called, or whatever it's called, is starting to gear up apparently. So this is what I'm thinking, you know, like the tank straps come to about there, so the tank's going to sit down around here ish, and what I was thinking is maybe kind of mounting the regulator off of this, or directly off the floor before it gets to the tank, like in about here. So that means we'll just have a little short run from the step notch, and then we'll have the two lines that go, the return and the feed lines will, yeah, from the regulator. So I think that just answered my question. I think we'll do a short run for the regulator till it gets to the tank. So I only need, because it kind of comes down here, that line's finishing about here, so I only really need another sort of 150 millimeters max on there to the regulator, I'd say. We'll see. Alrighty, so I made a decision. I know approximately where I'm going to put my regulator, and it's going to be there. So where is it? There. So it'll be landing about there under the floor, so it'll probably be about there. So exhaust's going to come down, and it should be heaps of room. I'm just probably being overthinking it. So next step is these push connects. That's it. That's a push connect AN fitting. It's like they just push in. You just push and push, and you just keep pushing until you can push no more, and that's it. You shouldn't be able to pull it out. I can't pull it out. So yeah, that's that fitting there, and that'll screw on to the old regulator. Now I should put something in it. There we go. So that's kind of imaginary, like under the floor. Not quite. It's actually probably a little bit. It's close. It's probably a little bit high, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is go from here to the top of the tank, and make my lines for my send and receive, and I've got to do a rollover vent or air vent, but I've got a little rollover valve that I bought at a swap meet the other day, which is quite a nifty little doodad. It goes, and it like falls out of your hand and onto the ground. I haven't got any hose clamps for it. That's what I need. So yeah, so like if you're in a, like filling up with gas, it can suck air, and driving it can pull air and, you know, stop the tank pressurizing. But if you roll over it, a little bit of air still, mind you, it's not tight, so it's got a little ball bearing in there that blocks it, so it's like a little ball valve. But I was thinking of putting it up on the other corner there, you know, just tucking it into the corner like that. I'm pretty sure I've got enough room to do that, so I might do that yet. And then I just have to run another hose over to the other side to the rollover vent. But for now, before I even think about doing that, I'm going to do this stuff. Alright, where's the... I like the, I've got two of these? Yep. Same as the fuel line on the front. We've got these little doodads. Why is that one bigger? Hang on, we've got two different sizes or what? Yeah, looks like we hopefully we have, because our flow and our return are two different sizes. So, alright, I have to tighten them up proper, but I better check. Here's the other one. Oh, is that bigger? Hopefully. Oh yeah, that looks bigger. Maybe I just fluked it with when I did the other side. Fluked it. Man, these are close. Alright. Push. Yep. Alright, tighten those up and then do the next bit. Alrighty, so what do we got on this top of this pump? It's a Walbro pump, I think. We've got a return, send, and vent. There's also another port on these tanks. I'm going to have to get a plug for it because I don't know what goes in there. It's not a drain, that's further down the bottom, I think. But yeah, I haven't got a plug for it. I don't know what the thread is either, so I have to figure that out. But first point, I guess, is we got two of these, like, I think they're an NTP, I don't know, 5/8 or something like that. Yeah, they're tapered thread little doodads that are your adapter for this, for your old payin style fittings. So they will go in there. So they're going to need a little bit of thread tape, I reckon, just for a bit of extra insurance. These NTP threads, according to the interweb, are the duck's guts for getting things to seal nicer, but I'm going to chuck a bit of NTFE tape on there. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to help with that final seal. Where is it? This stuff. PTFE, pure, 100% professional. So, you know it's professional if I've got it. And just, no, wrong. I'm doing this the wrong way. I always have to think about this when I'm doing the threading it. No, wrong way again, that way. Oh, what a shit. Doesn't need a lot, I reckon. There wasn't really much at all, so I might try put a little bit more on just to be on the safe side, because I'm just, if these little mamma jammers leak, then the tank has to come back out. But with these fancy pants Army Navy fittings, that shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Take the other one up, get that one started, and then I'll crank those on, and we can cut our feed and return lines, put our fittings on, and yeah, figure out what to do from there. Alrighty, have to be gentle with my special payin fitting spanner. Right, I reckon that'll do it. I did look at buying some proper spanners for like these fittings and that, but then they are really expensive just for some aluminium bloody spanners. Jesus Christ. Oh, my knees are killing me. Alright, so anywho, so what was what again? I can't see the markings now. I might have to figure out which was which. Send and return. I might go right on these just so I don't forget which is which. Let me go get a pen. Where's a pen? Okay, so which is here? So that's my send. So that's got to go to that one. Got to go to that one. Actually, we've got to have. Let me have a looky see. Do I need to use these? Got these like these ones. Do I need them? And under here, or what? Or can I just use your normal straight ones? Like these sorts. I suppose I could push one on here and because I mean that does look like it might want to be a bit of a scrap getting in there, eh? I can push one on the end. Either way, I want to use the straight ones on the actual regulator, so I'll push one on and see what it does. Push connect. Will that thread on there? Doesn't look like it wants to. No, that's interesting. Yeah, that won't go on there nicely without. I suppose it might, but yeah, run the risk of damaging the threads, I reckon, going that way. So, that being said, screw that on there. Then we're going to go, that'll get pinned up under the floor, about that long there. Now I watched some expert talking about these push connect fittings the other day on the internet. As I say, I'd never seen them before. It wasn't actually what I really know nothing about payin fittings and all of the components and stuff, and I was assuming that they were kind of going to be similar to what I'd seen on other videos and whatnot, but these are actually quite different. So I thought maybe I'd been stitched up, and I thought maybe you should do a little bit of homework on this, right? So I did a bit of homework and found some stuff from America that said they're pretty good, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they need to have some sort of clamps on them, like extra hose clamps and stuff, but nah, they don't even need to have that. They just good all by themselves. So I'm going to run with them all by themselves. Push that in there, push, connect, push, connect, push, connect. Helps if you turn it the right way. They're pretty snug to touching each other, those two. So it's going to go up like that. It's going to be on it's about where the tank's going to go under the car. And I'm going to cut that one there. Here. Oh, and the other thing I've seen on the video was, some people saying, put a little bit of oil and lubricants and stuff like that on. By the looks of it, you don't really need it. So that goes like that. So I wonder if I should label, just put a return to sender on there. So that'll go bolt up on the floor like that. Shush. Got the little rollover vent in place. That should be all good because we're going to have airline valves and stuff poking out through there as well. So I'm pretty sure I left plenty of room for that with the sheet metal that covers all of that. Pretty sure. So I just need to get a couple of hose clamps for the vent so I can clamp it at that end and that end. Then that's all the hardware done for that. These lines will probably get pinned up under the floor with the regulator once everything goes in and the body's on, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's nothing to pin them to right at the moment, is there? So, but when the tank goes up and when we've done some couple more things, that can get the final install. But for now, the main line is installed. I'll take all this off and put it all away until we're ready to put the body back on and put the tank and that back in finally. But I'm not going to do it today, I can't be bothered. But yeah, I just wanted to get all my fuel system in, especially that main line there, and I thought I might as well do this, get everything cut to length, fit it up, and then it's done. So when we come to put this back together, it's just literally pluggy and play. Yeah, that sounded really dumb. So it's just like plug and play, mate. You know, we're just gonna like put it back in and away she goes, and we'll just turn the key and go for some driving. But no, it's not gonna be quite that simple, I suspect. Hang on, I'm just trying to push this back a bit. Yeah. Oh god, these seemed like a good idea at the time doing this. Yeah. There we go. All I'm after is just a little more room at the back so I can walk around the bloody car. Anyway, anywho, that's another couple of jobs ticked off the list. Oh, what I'm going to do next, I'm still waiting to hear back about airbags. So I don't want to buy airlines and stuff until I've got the bags and I've guaranteed I know what port size they are. They should be 1/2 inch, but you never know because I'm not running 1/2 inch. Doesn't matter anyway. I'm still waiting. Haven't heard from the dude. Might just buy some off the Amazon website, and you know, probably be quicker. It's been over a month now. I probably could have had them by now, but yeah, not complain. Well, I am complaining. But yeah, maybe he's forgotten about me. But yeah, that's that done. What am I going to do next? There's heaps of stuff to do on the body. I could just kind of break out and start doing some bits and pieces on there. You know, if the weather ever finds up, I can actually roll the chassis out now and do a bit of work underneath the 51. Just start getting that underway. Got to get my gas bottle filled up so I can finish welding all the bits and bobs up under there. Got to buy the paint. Got to buy some under seal. I think I've got seam sealer. It's about the only thing I've got to do the underside of the 51. Everything else I've still got to buy. Might have some bits of steel. There's a couple of little rust patches I've still got to do that I'm up under the wheel arch that I can get to now. If I can ever get this thing out of the way. Deep sigh. So yeah, maybe could start doing a couple of bits and pieces like that. I can always get on the wire wheel and just and get going on that. I'm just kind of avoiding it. Got a bit of work to do on the firewall. Could move on to that. Still need gas bottle, big gas. That one there, she's just about empty. Well, gauge is saying empty, that it's not switched on. Yeah, I'll have a think about it and then we'll see what we're going to do next. But as always, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It's not that hard. Just do it. It's free. And you'll get to see all this and this. And yeah, and as always, anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, take it easy and peace. 4 minutes, nearly 5 minutes of me